Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new MetaQuest 3 VR headset. And this is something I've been really excited about, but before we get started here, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by MetaQuest. They did send this unit over for review, but all opinions in this video are my own, and if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know I've done several videos on the Quest 2. It's been my go-to VR headset, either using it standalone with its own built-in operating system, or setting up Quest Link to a PC, be it wireless or wired. But now, we've got the Quest 3 with a lot of awesome upgrades, and that's really why I'm excited about this unit. And one of the main features here with the Quest 3 that I personally can't wait to use is the new mixed reality. Because with the Quest 3, we do get HD colorized pass-through with the new built-in cameras, which is something we missed out on the Quest 2. It had black and white pass-through, wasn't HD, but this definitely looks like a nice upgrade. And here it is. Straight off the bat, I can tell you it's a lot thinner than the Quest 2. I mean, just looking at it inside of the box, they state that this is about 40% thinner than the Quest 2, which is really going to help out with having that weight on the front of your face, making this a much more comfortable experience. We do have a little bit of information up here in the lid of the packaging, and I do want to mention that the MetaQuest 3 is not intended for anybody under the age of 13. Basically, everything on the all-new MetaQuest 3 has been upgraded. We've even got new touch controllers, and these feel really nice. Definitely a little lighter than the older ones, and let me go ahead and grab this other one here. Yeah, the ergonomics here are awesome. I mean, it fits right in the hand. And when you're using these touch controllers, make sure you always attach the strap to your wrist so these don't go flying. And of course, we've got the MetaQuest 3 headset itself. And personally, I think it looks really good. We've got some awesome external upgrades and internal upgrades. It does weigh a few more ounces than the Quest 2, but the way it's balanced is just much better. It's 40% thinner, so we don't have all that weight up front. Should make for a really comfortable experience. Inside of the box, along with the new MetaQuest 3, we also get our two new touch controllers. We've got a 15-watt charger, USB Type-C cable, and our user manual. Strap is included with the MetaQuest 3, already attached to the headset. Taking a look at the exterior of the unit, over here on the left-hand side, we've got our USB Type-C port for charging up the internal battery, plus we've got our power/reset button. Moving over to the right-hand side, there is a 3.5mm audio jack, so we can plug headphones into this. And up front, we've got our new 4-camera array and depth sensor. So this will allow for mixed reality, and that depth sensor is going to come in really handy for kind of scanning your surroundings. Down here on the bottom of the unit, we've got our volume rocker. There's also 3 pogo pads and the new IPD adjuster. So this is awesome. Basically what it's going to do is adjust the lenses inside to line up with your eye's pupil. And there's way more adjustment here than the Quest 2 ever had. Plus over here, we've got our dual stereo speakers that kind of line right up with our ears. Another thing we have here is depth adjustment internally. But yeah, I actually do like the way it looks. Originally seeing this, in renders and things like that a few months ago. Wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's kind of growing on me, and knowing how thin it is compared to the Quest 2, I can definitely get behind it. Just giving you a quick rundown here of the MetaQuest 3 specs. So for the CPU, we've got the new Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, and with this, it actually offers up to 50% more GPU performance than the original XR2 in the Quest 2. We've also got 8GB of RAM as opposed to 6. Base storage here, you can pick up a 128GB or a 512. Resolution has also been significantly upgraded. Now per eye, 2064 by 2208 with 1218 pixels per inch, making for a really sharp picture. Got refresh rates of 72 Hz, 80, 90, and experimental 120 with games that do support it. Field of view, 110 degrees horizontal, 96 vertical. And of course, with the new MetaQuest 3, we've got color pass-through. Getting the MetaQuest 3 set up is really easy. Out of the box, we've got these touch controllers that already have batteries installed. We need to pull these little strips out so they can make contact with the terminals. And of course, we'll need to adjust the headset strap to make it comfortable. And this new strap system is really cool. We still got the Velcro on the top, but around back, we've got these new straps that are very easy to make wider or smaller depending on the size of your head. One thing I always suggest here is just take your time when putting it on, adjust it to your liking, make sure it's comfortable. The easiest way to set up your MetaQuest 3 is through the Quest app. It's available for Android and iOS. You could also install it on PC if you want to. And scrolling through my game library, you can see I've got quite a few games here, and that's because I've been using the Quest 2 for a long time. But once we power that MetaQuest 3 on, we'll need to connect to Wi-Fi. Then from the Quest app, we'll pair a new device. It'll search on our local network for that new MetaQuest 3. On the headset, you may be presented with a code. We'll need to input it here in the Quest app. Once that's done, you're now paired up with your MetaQuest account, and it's going to update that headset for us. Once that's finished up, we can start using it. And you'll be introduced to a world that looks something like this. You can totally customize your avatar if you want to, and right now I am using the touch controllers, but we'll take a look at hand tracking in a second. And obviously, right now we're not using pass-through. We'll turn that on in a second, but I want to show you how to set up a boundary, because the new method here is really awesome. From our menu, we've got pass-through, we've also got boundary. What this is going to do is give us a pass-through view. By the way, I'm in our kids' toy room right now. And as you can see, it's automatically scanning for a space to play in. It'll set up our boundary automatically. Now you can do this manually, or you could set it up stationary if you want to. But this is one of the cool features of the MetaQuest 3. Basically, we can let this automatically scan our surroundings and set up that boundary for us automatically. Now, going back to pass-through, as you can see, we do have a full color view here. It is HD. And this new pass-through is awesome for mixed reality games. Now from the storefront, you can actually discover new mixed reality games and applications directly from here. I've already got a few downloaded, but I'll just show you what we got. More are going to be added. Actually, since I've had this, I've seen a bunch of new ones pop up every single day. Some old games are actually getting mixed reality support also. And this mixed reality support is actually pretty crazy. Going into this, I wasn't sure how much I'd use it, but I've been playing a ton of these games and having a lot of fun with them. We're going to start up one of my favorites here, First Encounters. Now, in order for a game like this to work correctly on the MetaQuest 3, you will need to scan your room. And it's pretty cool because once we do the scan, as you can see, it's doing it automatically. I want to get all these nooks and crannies. If I come back to this room with the same game, it's going to remember my layout. So I don't need to rescan again. Now you can always rescan if you want to, and there's some custom adjustment at the end of this. But it'll give us a good idea of what's going on here. Sets up the walls, ceiling, floor. We've already got our boundary set up. Little status bar on screen, tell you when you're basically complete. And now we can adjust the walls if you need to. I'm going to leave mine where they are. We'll choose continue one more time, and we can get right into some gameplay. Make sure you always wear your straps with these touch controllers. Got mine on here. But yeah, this is really awesome. And obviously with a game like this being mixed reality, I mean, we can go around this 360. We can interact with different objects. And you saw it bust through the ceiling. We can actually tear our walls down, and behind it, we'll have virtual reality. And this little thing just gave me a nice little scanner. This is really cool. As you can see, they're trying to break in. And the objective of this is to kind of capture all of these guys once they start coming through the walls. Dual wielding. Now we can dual wield and try to get these little guys. And as I start blasting them, you'll notice that if I hit the wall, it is destructible. One came in behind me. There he is. But yeah, personally, I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I can't wait to see what developers do in the future. Like mentioned, some games that I personally like to play right now, just, in regular VR mode, are getting support for mixed reality. So that's also going to be really cool to go back to those games once they're updated. These new mixed reality games are really kind of the star of the new MetaQuest 3, but if you're not into it and you just want to go back to regular VR, we've also got that, and it looks amazing with this higher resolution. Plus, with games that support it, we've got full hand tracking, so you don't even need to use the touch controllers. I've personally been having a lot of fun with Vacation Simulator and Job Simulator. Seems like there's a lot of eating going on in this game, and yeah, of course there is, but there's so much to do here. It's definitely worth checking out. It is a lot of fun. So yeah, in the time that I spent with the new MetaQuest 3, I've been having a blast with it. Super comfortable. Higher resolution, definitely looks a lot better. And we've got that Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, so we've got a lot more power. In fact, it's the most powerful MetaQuest so far. So developers can definitely leverage that extra GPU performance, getting better looking games, mixed reality games, and just an overall better experience. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I really appreciate you watching. If you're interested in learning a little more, maybe picking up a MetaQuest 3, I'll leave some links in the description. And keep in mind, I've got some more videos on the way. Definitely want to take a look at some side-loaded stuff, so stay tuned to the channel if you're interested in the MetaQuest 3. And like always, thanks for watching.